Welcome to Driving Immersion. This is the immersive racing experience. Studio 397's Le Mans Ultimate is the best detailed simulation of the World Endurance Championship. You're about to watch the one and only 24 hours of Le Mans in segments. We'll be racing in Le Mans Ultimate using as much of its simulation factors to be as close to the racing as possible. We drive from the cockpit using a Fanatec CSL DD Plus wheel and load cell pedal set, without any assists except for what exists in the car. There are collisions and damage, tire wear and fuel use, including virtual energy. Enjoy the sights and sounds under the sun that is only Le Mans. Give us a like and click on subscribe now so that you don't miss out on any of it. Volume up and let's go.
In the afternoon, with 2 hours and 27 minutes left in the race, we are still on the same lap with the lead car, who is just about a minute or so ahead. And we are going to change all 4 tires. The front ones are starting to give away. We're having to be a little bit careful with those. And we happen to have quite a few extra tires left, so we are going to change. We're going to keep our fuel ratio the same. Fill up with 100% virtual energy. No aero, and no repairs need to be done. This pit stop is going to cost us 50 seconds. 12 seconds on the tires.
Welcome to the Circuit de la Sarthe for the 24 Hours of Le Mans series here at Driving Immersion. And we are rejoining the race here at the pits as we are getting a full tire change into another set of the soft tires, as well as a full refill of fuel and recharge of virtual energy.
So right now you can see that on the map, the leader is out of the second chicane. We're just entering it. And that is how far back we are right now. 42 seconds into the pit stop. 10 seconds left to go, roughly. We are in gear. On the ground and released. Now these tires are cold. That they're softs, they should warm up by the time we reach the first chicane on the Mulsanne straight. But right now we have to be very careful with them.
Now we did put on a full set of the soft tires. The previous set was only 2 stints old, but they were down to just over 50% in the front, which were worn the most out of all the 4 tires. But right now, 2 hours and some change, so time is critical to the end of the race.
So we lost a little bit more than a minute on that pit stop to the number 36. He will be coming in again in just a couple of laps, and we'll see where we stand after that.
Yes, going back to the math, changing all 4 tires cost us 12 seconds in the pits, and hopefully we can make that time back up here on the track by doing faster laps, and we have been gaining about 15 to 25 seconds on each stint simply because we don't let our tires get old. So something to note for strategy if you're ever doing a long endurance race here at the Circuit de la Sarthe or any of the other endurance circuits here on the World Endurance Championship.
Out of the second chicane, tires are up to temperature. Time to start going for it.
Back with the number 36 Alpine as he crosses the start-finish line into turn 1. And if you're looking at the map on the left of your screen, you'll see that the number 8 is just exiting the Mulsanne corner.
Turn down our traction control now that we have new tires.
So right now in the number 8, our first lap into this stint, we are 2 minutes and just about 2 seconds behind the Alpine.
There's a yellow. It may have cleared itself up.
And that is roughly half of the track, as you see there on the map. The number 8 here out of Arnage. into the entrance of the Porsche S's or Porsche curves. That first right-hander is a very critical entry into the curves, as you have to have the car slowed down and placed correctly on the track in order to complete and connect all of these curves together. Turn 32, turn 33, as we exit out.
More than enough to finish the race.
That time was a 4:54.92.
So basically the whole pit stop scenario cost us 70 seconds.
A look into the background shows one of the GT3 sliding into the Mulsanne corner. I believe that may have been one of the Aston Martins, as it has a very tall wing in the rear, also a very dark colored paint. Back to the number 36, and we got to see very briefly there one of the LMP2s into the guardrail to the right. Couldn't see exactly which one it was, but it's likely we've added another car to the attrition list. And out of our notch is the number 36. This is the number 8. And I believe this is the first chicane.
Very hard, even holding it through the turn just to do some just to be able to brake a little bit more and slow the car down. Shifted a little too early that time. And that is going to cost us some time. 320 down the straight here.
One lap complete into the stint, and we can see here that we burned 8.34% of our virtual energy on the last lap. Again, very critical information on the steering wheel of the number 8. The other cars in the hypercar class also have similar and like information.
That is the BMW GT3, and he was kind enough to let us through.
So again, a lot of very important information there on the steering wheel display, and that is why we drive with the steering wheel visible from the cockpit. There are other racers that will delete or omit the view of the steering wheel. They may have a steering wheel that shows that information, and if not, they have a screen flooded with data in all four corners, which we find very distracting. So I think it's a little bit easier to get used to having the information there on the steering wheel and having it visible while we're driving around the circuit in these races. The Fanatec steering wheel that we use is the Formula V2, and it has a very small LED display. Usually indicates the gear that we're in, or sometimes it can be configured to show speed. But certainly that is just that little box there in the middle of your steering wheel display. The rest of the information, very important. Now, if you're driving around the circuit, you want to make sure that you have your timing information available so that you can see if you're going faster or slower. The information on the upper right, that lap time, is our current speed or current lap. And it will freeze momentarily. That is a 3:36 lap. The purple time display on the lower right of the screen there indicates the fastest lap of the stint.
A little too deep.
Of course, we've got the tire temperatures in Celsius, just about that. We have our traction control levels, which are adjustable from the steering wheel. And then our brake bias above that. State of charge.
About a second. Perhaps a second.
And that is the amount of electrical energy that you have stored in the battery. Back to the Alpine as he enters Indianapolis. Oh, very slowly. Wonder what's going on here. It's just a very, very slow left-hander into Indianapolis. Again, very slow here at Arnage. It's possible that the Alpine may be having to save virtual energy in order to make it in, but he did just come into the pits. So he may be trying to save energy here for the stint altogether. Nevertheless, very slow into the Indianapolis Arnage.
So that 336 was about 7 seconds faster. And this is how we make up time.
Now the timing on the lower left corner of your screen
burn through tires and burn through fuel.
Displays the past lap or last lap of the number 8, and that is a 336. The last lap for the number 36, Nicolas Lapierre, was a 340 something. So definitely a little bit slower than the number 8 here on their last laps. And doing a little bit more math, you can see there that we have cut down our 206 deficit. It's down to 150. And right now, again, as we are nearing the end of the race, we are taking our little bits of time off here from the lead. And if that's what's going to take.
Very late turn in there, got us squirrely through Indianapolis.
So if all we can do is take little bits of time off, we can do that.
Still on track for a decent lap.
Again, through the S's, you can see there on the map that the Alpine is going into the first chicane down the Mulsanne Straight. Having a look back at the LMP2s, looks like we have a new leader. And right now, the two leaders have completely actually fallen off the leaderboard here, so very big moves forward for a couple of the LMP2s.
Early at 336.
Here is one of the LMP2s. This is at Indianapolis, very far right into the barriers. And
so we wanted to accelerate a little earlier to get by the Lexus there, but not a place where you can accelerate earlier. Just have to let the car sit on all fours.
So just a little bit curious on what's going to happen to that LMP2 in the barriers at Indianapolis. This is the lead GT3 car, and that is the number 77 Mustang. The second place BMW and the
number 36 on the last lap.
And then just momentarily we got to see the third place GT3. There is the Aston Martin that we saw spin out earlier in the stint.
131 now, and we are waiting for him to pit. We should be pitting anytime as he's only got 10%.
A couple of GT3s, and this is at the Mulsanne corner. This is the McLaren, and earlier there was the Ferrari. So we were wrong. We didn't see the number 36 come into the pits yet. You can see now that he is low on virtual energy, and that is down to 9%, so he should be coming in pretty soon. And again, this is our third lap after our pit stop, and this is just about the time that he will usually come in, as he's been doing so the last 5 or 6 stints. Here he is into the pits.
There he is. He's now in the pit lane. We need to be able to make up 126. I think we'll only be able to make up about 1 second or 1 minute while he's in the pits. His last lap, a 3:46. Again, we are going faster. It will take us just a few more stints here to be able to catch up. So I don't know what the yellow is for through the Indianapolis corner there.
That was for the LMP2 that was stuck in the barrier. This is the number 36 in the pits. A very critical time here for the number 8. This is our time to make up any lost time to the number 36. And we are now 110 behind
Still
as he sits stationary.
74% virtual energy now as he is recharging.
Still standing still for the number 36. 49 seconds to the number 8. Right now, a very long time.
Very eager to get up there, but he is changing tires.
Yes, the timing overlay shows that he is now up to 100% on virtual energy, so if he's still standing still, they must still be changing tires or perhaps refueling. And right here, as we cross the start-finish line, we are going to put the number 8 in the lead. The 36 now released.
Once again, it took us about 5, maybe 6 stints to regain 2.5 minute loss or so. Okay, 12 seconds ahead.
12 seconds ahead, and we are on the dashboard of the number 36 to see if we can see the Toyota just up ahead. Back again to the dashboard. The Toyota is out of sight right now, and it is only 16 seconds ahead. The race closer than ever here, nearing the end of the 24 hours of Le Mans.
And now we can try to start stretching. 34 laps remaining. Amazing. And this is lap 344 of a possible 378. Oh, very slow time here behind the GT3. This lap 2 seconds slow.
The timing on the steering wheel indicates that we are 1.8 seconds slower on this lap. Now we've had to drive through a little bit of traffic here. That is the Mulsanne corner once again. And we are looking back to see if we can see 16 seconds and see if the Alpine will appear. Nope, couldn't see him.
Trying to look for what is causing that. Caution through there.
Yes, the yellow is still there. The LMP2 must still be stuck behind the barrier.
We need to get down to 823. We've been earning 839.
So mathematically, that LMP2 may still be a very good driving car, but for some reason it can't get out from behind the barrier, and it's stuck there for right now. And I think eventually it will be deemed retired, but right now it's still active. So 2 laps in, and it's still stuck behind the barrier. Very unfortunate for that team and for that car.
Soft tires are very reliable.
So a total of 3.5 seconds slower on this lap now.
Very good grip. They will go away.
Now earlier in the afternoon we were able to get as low as 3:44 on the lap times with a fresh set of the soft tires. And again, that was just after noontime, but now a couple of hours later, a fresh set of the softs is only getting us 3:36, so the temperature has gone up.
2 and 3 with a GT3, slowing us down.
The last time we checked, the track temperature on the tarmac was 104 degrees Celsius.
Be nice on the tires here. So that time around we had a virtual energy of 810, and we needed to be I think 829.
So right now we are ahead of the data there for the virtual energy, and we are calculating now. Since we are at the head of the race, we can actually slow down the car to save virtual energy and possibly calculate an extra lap into the stint.
Okay, right now it's not really helping us to save fuel if we are 2 seconds slower on every lap.
1.6 seconds slower now.
In 11 laps we will be 22 seconds slower.
The time on the lower left of the screen appearing in a green color is the projected time for this lap based on
So let's get away
the
with
time in red. Now the time could be
fuel
in red or
savings.
green if we are ahead. Again, a lot of info on the steering wheel.
Not really doing anything for us at this point.
And as we are circling the track, there's a lot of calculations behind the wheel. On board with the number 37 LMP2, the yellow flag is still there. Couldn't quite see if there was a car still behind the barrier. Into Indianapolis once again. Let's see if we can see the... No, we can't see the LMP2, but there is still a yellow in that section. There is a car moving in the background, still going back and forth. So 3 laps in, and that car is still stuck behind the barrier at Indianapolis.
So right now the front left is 2% more worn than the front right. There are a lot of left-hand turns here that are fast, so there is a lot of scrubbing on the front left. Here's one of them. Tetra Rouge is one. The entrance into the first chicane is another. As we go down the track. Slow lap.
Time through 38.53.
We are making time on the 36 though. Currently behind us.
Yes, timing indicates that the number 36 that we are looking at here is now just about 30 seconds behind. When he exited the pits, he was only 16 seconds behind, so 15 seconds so far that we've gained on the number 36. Now back with the number 8. We had been using the medium compound tire for most of the race and in the fronts during the night when it got cold, but now we are exclusively using these soft tires and we are finding a lot of time on the track.
first chicane while he is exiting Rouge.
We had actually strategized throughout the night that we were going to be using the hard tires during the day here once the track temperature went up. Unfortunately, they are still very slippery even at 104 degrees Fahrenheit. And the mediums have very similar grip here to the softs. However, with the soft tires, the wear is just about as good on the mediums, so why not use the softs? And again, that is our reasoning for using the softs here nearing the end of the race. As the track temperature keeps rising, and then we're only using them for 2 stints for each set or for each tire. Again, we have a surplus of tires as a result of going 4 stints through the night on some of the sets. This is the number 8 going around the 3rd place GT3 Mustang. Now we got to see in the background there very quickly the orange pin of the LMP2.
So we are in the lead with 2 hours and 2 minutes left to go.
That was stuck behind the barrier.
Anything can still happen. We can still lose this race simply in the pits or through a spin, an accident. And these LMP2s don't really have to give way. They are pretty fast.
We are trying to drive through these LMP2s, however, again, they are very fast, and we have only lost about 0.6 of a second trying to drive through them,
And
so
right now, losing a little bit of time
not too bad.
is better than losing a lot of time after a spin. Doing something just crazy.
7.99.
Nice and easy.
Yes, from behind the wheel, very careful around the LMP2s. Again, they are also very fast, just not as fast in the straight. You can see here that the hypercar, a very small car, in comparison to normal road cars, the LMP2 is even smaller.
So Lapierre ran a 341 and we did a 337. We are definitely faster than him.
So 4 seconds gained on that lap, and yes, we can see it on the timing. He is now 33 seconds behind, formerly 29. Again, at the start of his stint, he was only 16 seconds behind the number 8 Toyota here.
We're definitely going to miss racing here at Le Mans. After so many laps behind the wheel here, there's only 2 hours left to go until the end of the race.
There we are, a little pop-up indicating 2 hours to
The
go.
track has been predictable to us by now, with so many laps and so much time. The tires have been predictable. So right now we just want to be able to cross that start-finish. So again, if we are still doing 11 laps per stint, we are matching the Alpine, and at the same time, we are probably making about 3 or 4 seconds on every lap. So we don't need to make that extra 12 lap if we were to save fuel or virtual energy. In fact, if we did that, we had calculated that we would be losing about 1.8 seconds on each lap. trying to save fuel, and if we go that extra lap, any advantage that we can gain by extending our stint is going to be erased multiple times by the amount of time we're losing on each lap to save virtual energy.
A quick look at the Alpine as he had just passed the
Nice and
third
steady.
place Mustang.
We are now back in the lead. Nothing dangerous needs to be done.
So a very good stint here for the number 8, back into the lead of the race here at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Again, if you're just catching up in the series,
Don't have to take any risks.
we were leading the race for most of the night as the attrition took care of a lot of the other cars. Then in the early morning as the sun came up, we had a few spins and critical crashes, and we lost about 3, almost 4 minutes on track, giving the lead to the number 36 Alpine, also on the current lap at the time. So now just a couple of hours left into the race. We have made our way back to the lead very slowly to make up that 3 or 4 minutes that we had lost. Now the Alpine didn't have a very clean race either. A lot of crashes just before nightfall and early evening put them a ways back. We were actually 1 lap ahead of them at one point, but they have climbed their way back, and by morning they had gained the lead. So the programming for the AI here is actually very good here at Le Mans Ultimate. I think the only thing that we can really complain about is the retirements.
We need to be doing 826, 823. Not necessarily trying to save fuel here, but if we can. We are now 41 seconds ahead. Doing good on the tires. With it up front.
Flashing back and forth to the number 36 just to see if he is able to make up any time. 46 seconds, 47 seconds behind now the number 8. So on this stint, he continues to lose time. It appeared that with the time that he spent on his pit stop that he did transfer onto a new set of tires. It's possible that he may be stretching out this set of tires, and that is why he may be going slower. At one point, the number 36 was lapping just as fast as number 8.
Along the straights, the front tires are actually cooler than the rear tires.
So they are capable of going fast.
So the increased pressure in the front tires is helping them to stay cool. Again, a softer tire is great because it spreads the contact patch, so it does provide more grip. However, because it is soft, it is flexing more for every time it turns, and that creates heat.
Crossing the start-finish line, and another lap in the books.
Honestly don't know what got the Alpine to lose so much time in the pits, but he's been doing that. last 3 or 4 times that we are now closely watching him since we are so close together on the track. Media is putting less fuel, I think. Well, hard to tell because he can actually burn more fuel. It's the virtual energy that he needs to come in and recharge.
So here from the cockpit, we are taking the information available to us, and we are calculating the number 36.
Still faster lap, 337 versus 344.
Yes, once again, the number 36 is running a 344 lap. And again, it may be due to them trying to conserve energy.
So if you are familiar with, and I'm asking the viewers, whoever may be seeing any of this racing series here and Driving Immersion, I understand that the virtual energy is a calculation of how much energy you are using to, I guess, propel the car. But is it calculated through the throttle position? Or perhaps through the, I guess, a power meter in the drivetrain somewhere, like the transmission? Or if you know how the virtual energy is calculated, comment below. And I only have time to ask that now that we are in the lead, nearing the finish of the race. But I guess it would help to know.
Yes, if you have an idea how the virtual energy is calculated in the World Endurance Championship, let us know in the comments below. Virtual energy is also applied to the GT3 class.
A little wide there. Off our spots. Coming in through the finish of the Porsche S's. Is a little high, but it is keeping us ahead. Laps complete on the stint. We are working on our 11th lap, and right now actually the crew has not asked us to stop. It looks like we have we may have enough to go one more lap, so we are going to try to save fuel here.
Yes, right now, 1/3 into the lap here, we still have 14% of virtual energy. And by recent calculations, if we can lap at about 8% or close to 8%, we can still have a relatively good lap time around the track here. So if we need to, we can bring down our speed just a little bit and lose a little time in order to save on virtual energy and go an extra lap. Now this only really works if you have a bunch of stints that you are going to link together that are going the extra lap where you have been saving fuel. We have not been saving fuel in the morning, so it's not really going to affect the race that much to go an extra lap.
Is intact, that would be the second place GT3 sandwiched between two Mustangs. And we continue to keep making time on the number 36 of Nicholas Lapierre.
And again, if the number 36 was a little bit closer and not losing time to the number 8 here, we may consider extending our upcoming stints to go the extra lap. Again, it's not going to add up to anything except for a little bit of loss in lap time.
Still within range.
But here with 10 laps complete, when we cross the start-finish line, that will be our 11th lap, and right now the pit crew is not calling us in.
We are going to stretch it one extra lap. I think we will have to try to save on that extra lap.
So this stint, like our other stints through the night, is going to be 12 laps instead of the 11 laps that we have been running since sunrise.
9.8 and 2.7, that should be enough. I'm gonna keep going.
Lap 3, 38.28.
Definitely enough fuel.
Right now, 8.9% of virtual energy. Our last lap was 7.99, so definitely a little bit of a surplus of virtual energy here, and the most we've actually used up is 8.51 for a singular lap, 8.51%. So 8.9 is going to be enough to continue on and finish a lap here.
And this is the first place Mustang at number 77.
And there's a signal from the pits.
So lifting early actually is giving us a big recharge on our... Oh, totally missed it there. Big recharge on our hybrid energy.
Can't forget that we are racing and we have to remain on track. That is a little bit of a loss in time.
This lap 1.8 seconds slower, and I think it was the result of that run through the chicane. Tires 82 and 81.
Right now, the most worn tire under 20% wear.
Not so bad. I think it is very much like the last stint with the soft tires.
One of our other experiments here to test the software at Le Mans Ultimate was to take a set of the soft tires below 20% wear or 20% life left, and we did so, and the result is that it will start
so that tire that locked up is the front right. See there that it is actually more worn, less life than the front left, which has been getting a lot of wear.
So back to the soft tires. Once they are below 20% wear, they will start to wear very quickly as they start to lock up and skid when you apply the brakes, or if they're in the rear when you accelerate out. So the degradation that occurs with 20% life or less happens very quickly. Once you are at about 7 or 8%, they pretty much just lock up and go straight
into pit lane.
Under braking and are virtually useless. The medium tires we have taken down, I believe, as low as 12 or 14%. They don't act as badly as the soft tires do.
But we are coming in at the end of this lap.
but overall they don't have that much of a difference in longevity to the soft tires, meaning that the mediums can go to 4 stints as well as the soft tires.
We are 1.8. Certainly plenty of fuel. And to pit lane.
Here we are into the entrance into pit lane. Let's make sure that we get it down to the required speed. We have been caught with speeding in pit lane once.
for the front tires. Not too bad. Again, we are at a position. We are not going to run out of tires.
So about 55 seconds now ahead of the number 36 coming into the pits. A very good stint here for the number 8 Toyota. Considering the time, there may only be 2 stints left. And that is going to do it for the 29th stint here at Driving Immersion at the Circuit de la Sarthe. We thank you for watching this event at Driving Immersion, and remember, for more exciting racing ahead, give us a like and click on subscribe or follow so that you don't miss out on the next race event. We'll see you next time.